Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place, and I will probably do that. Well, ultimately, you know, because we're talking about just kicking in. They're just starting to kick in. But ultimately, your tariffs are going to be over $1 trillion a year, in my opinion. The numbers we have now are bigger than they ever were. So when you have $36 trillion in debt a year ago or 2 years ago, and you have a lot less revenue coming in, then you have 37 or 38. It's not 38 yet, but it will be. And the numbers are so much bigger. All of a sudden, 38, you're under-levered, whereas for 36, you were highly levered. We're not highly levered anymore. Now, with that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch, pinch.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea?
We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise.
While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
Wall Street's main indexes marked record closing highs on Thursday, with the Dow and S&P 500 ticking up marginally and the Nasdaq adding about 0.4%. With no official government data available due to the U.S. government shutdown, investors monitored information from other sources. A report from global outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas said employers' hiring plans so far this year were the lowest since 2009. This followed the previous day's weaker than expected ADP National Employment Report. The lackluster jobs data so far has led traders to bet widely that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 2 more times this year, including at the end of October. But Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, says don't bet on it.
I'm not so sure that we're going to get the next rate cut, and there might be this wild card with the government shutdown. Since there's no data and the Fed is data dependent, they might have to pause the easing cycle until they get more data. The market is not ready for that. They want this easing cycle to continue. We are still where rates are restrictive on capital formation at this point in time. They need to continue to go down to support the positive momentum that's baked into the S&P 500, now over 6,700 points.
Wall Street on Thursday was boosted largely by tech stocks, with Nvidia, Apple, and Broadcom all closing higher. On the flip side, consumer discretionary stocks were the biggest drag on the S&P 500, due largely to a sell-off in shares of Tesla, which ended down 5% for its biggest one-day percentage loss since late July. And shares of credit bureaus Equifax and TransUnion fell 8.5% and 10.6% respectively after FICO launched a program that could allow mortgage lenders to gain access to credit scores without relying on the bureaus. FICO shares surged almost 18% after the news.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for Northwest Pennsylvania on this Friday morning. Sunshine, continued warmness, and temperatures in the upper 70s. A clear sky tonight with lows in the upper 40s. Saturday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Sunday, sunshine, low 80s. Monday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the low 80s. And Tuesday, rain with a high of 70. That is a look at your weather forecast. By the way, after Tuesday, we're down into the 60s. So be prepared for that. I think our time in the 80s is done for a little while. 14 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hello, Friday. It's good to see you. Today's gonna be a good day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Hello, Friday. It's good to see you. Today's gonna be a good day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill.
I think we're 3 weeks from when I initially said I should probably get a haircut. I was just looking.
I'm sorry.
No, is it bad?
Yeah. Yeah, like you have
okay.
part that kind of like
no,
rolls
honey,
up, and
it looks good. What, this part, the front?
I feel like it looks like you put like hot rollers in it overnight or something.
Maybe I did.
We don't even have any in our house.
Oh.
We don't own those.
Didn't you have some?
I did, but I threw them away.
Oh, okay. All right, happy Friday. You made it. I noticed some high school football games took place last night. We were at, where were we? Oh, Seneca, Wattsburg for boys soccer. So beautiful night to be out. Not a great game for us, but still nice to be out, enjoying the weather. We are on the road tonight for week 7 of high school football, which, as I said, got underway last night. I think Corey and Northeast played last night. We've got a Thursday night game of our own in a couple weeks. So, yeah. Boy, I'm going to have a Friday.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Can you believe, like, the season's winding down?
It's crazy. Crazy.
Well, I know we just got into October, but I've heard some chatter on Halloween costumes. I know our kids have
They're working on it.
I don't know what they're doing.
I know what one is doing.
I don't know. Is it like a college Halloween party thing? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
According to Good Housekeeping, I didn't know they were still around. Good Housekeeping.
Oh.
It's like one of those, it's like the Farmer's Almanac. Probably be around forever. I don't know. They listed their top 10 Halloween costumes in 2025. We talk about it now because some of these might be hard to find as you get going, right? If everybody's going to be one thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. So we're gonna.
It's funny because it's like you'll see that with kids a lot, like whatever's popular, whatever character. Our kids never followed that trend. They always made it a challenge. Like, yeah, no, this was like, either this costume has never existed or. But no, I like to see the unique costumes and the fun stuff. I know we did a million years ago when our kids were younger. There was our arts council did they were part of a fall festival that did costumes, like a costume parade and costume contest. But the big thing with that was it was a creative. They were looking for creativity. So like it didn't have to be, a $50 costume that you got from the store. It could be, like one of my favorites was so cute. Like she wore a green sweatsuit and then she blew up a bunch of purple balloons and pinned them to herself and she was a bunch of grapes. Like just things like that. It's awesome. They were looking for creativity and that was always fun. So.
Well, you enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Making the costumes, and it drove me up a wall, but.
Yeah. No, they would come to me with the biggest challenge. Great.
So some of the top costumes this year are the witches from Wicked. Okay, so Glinda and I don't know, whatever the other one is.
Ariana Grande person.
Yeah, isn't she?
Whatever her character is.
Glinda?
No, I don't. Oh, she's yeah. Sorry, is she Glinda?
Yeah. So the Wicked Witch.
Okay.
Those are two popular Halloween costumes this year. I don't even. Yeah, I guess we've kind of been through the aisle. The Addams Family. I was just thinking what I've seen at the store.
Yeah.
Addams Family from Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the popular costume, and I don't know if you find these in the store or if these are found online.
I don't know.
I have no idea what this is. Hunter X from K-pop.
I have no idea.
It's a kids show, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Superman. That isn't too surprising since the new movie came out. I see that it's now streaming, but you could be Superman. Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo are two people you can dress up as. That's the top Halloween costume. Lilo and Stitch, another Halloween costume. There's a lot of like pairings here of Halloween costumes. Not just like here's one here. It's like it's this one and this one are like together.
Yeah.
Aunt Gladys from Weapons. It's a movie, I guess.
All right.
Classic children's book characters are also popular this year, so look for those. Steve from Minecraft. Again,
I can't believe that's like coming back, but okay.
Well, I think did that movie come out? Jack Black?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. So a lot of these are, obviously inspired by recent movies or TV shows. Kendrick Lamar from his Super Bowl halftime show. That's something I've never heard of. Somebody's dressing up as somebody from a halftime show to Super Bowl. And that's it. That's what they have listed as like the top 10 Halloween costumes for this year. I always smile when we see the classics, though, like the Frankenstein or Dracula or a mummy. Or there's some of the classic, well, I would probably put those as classic, but the other ones over the years, Super Mario. What are some others we see every year? I'm trying to think. That's why I love handing out candy.
I know.
Looking at all the
it's fun. It's fun to see.
Yeah, but there's always that handful of ones like every year, even though the movie or the TV show is 20 years old, somebody still dresses as, I'm trying to think of some of those characters that we see every year. There's always a Batman.
Oh, yeah.
The Superman, the Princess, Iron Man, Spider-Man. Yeah, those clowns.
Yeah. No, I know. Michael Myers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
those classics.
It's always fun to see those. But as I mentioned, you might want to start getting in on finding your costumes now. We were looking for our son. He was looking for something specific, kind of. And it was just really hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of sites that send you overseas. A lot of Chinese-backed costume stores.
Yeah.
Even on eBay. So you have to be careful because you're not going to...
Sometimes your bank doesn't allow you to...
Well, yeah, and you might not get it in time.
Mm-mm. Or at all.
So just be careful.
I think... So we made him go through Amazon to purchase it because it's a little more safe or secure than...
Well, yeah, we also sent him through stores, some of the local stores.
Yeah.
To find stuff.
Couldn't find it.
It's crazy. I was thinking the other day, we need to stop running to this store real quick. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, they closed like 2 years ago. haven't quite processed all of that yet.
You're a little behind.
It was a fabric store place.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a couple times this fall. I'm like, oh, we should run in there because we're gonna need some stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, they don't exist anymore.
Sorry.
So I'm just behind. That's all. We got birthdays and what we're celebrating, not just today, but through the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It is the 3rd of October. Who's celebrating a birthday today?
All right. Chubby Checker is 84.
Right. Do the twist later.
Yeah. Rocker Tommy Lee is 63. Singer Gwen Stefani is 56. Actress Neve Campbell is 52. Actress Lena Headey is 52.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Is that right?
Yes. Actress Tessa Thompson is 42. Actress Ashley Simpson is 41. Actress Alicia Vikander is 37. And that is all.
Is it Gwen Stefani Shelton?
It just says Gwen Stefani.
I'm just making fun of. Sorry. She's still married to Blake, right?
Are they married? Did they get married? I don't even know. I don't follow that.
You threw the invitation away.
I did.
So I don't know. We didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, you want to do?
You want to celebrate something?
Yeah.
Okay. Today is Buy British Day, Francisco Morazan's Day, Kids Music Day, Manufacturing Day, Mean Girls Day, National Body Language Day, National Boyfriend Day, National Techies Day, National Unity Day, National Wide Awake Day, World Smile Day, Animal Welfare Week, Bat Care Awareness Week, National Manufacturing Week. And that is all for today.
Okay.
Tomorrow we celebrate Bookshop Day, Frugal Fun Day, Improve Your Office Day, Kindness to Animals Day, National Cinnamon Roll Day, National Golf Lovers Day.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. National Improve Your Office Day again. Okay. National Taco Day tomorrow. National Truckers Day, National Vodka Day, St. Francis of Assisi Feast Day, World Animal Day, World Card Making Day, World Habitat Day, World Space Week. And then on Sunday we celebrate Change a Light Day, International Blessings of the Fishing Fleet Day, National Above the Bus Day, National Apple Betty Day, National Be Nice Day, National Caribbean Civility Day, National Do Something Nice Day, National Get Funky Day, National Kiss a Wrestler Day, National Military Podcast Day, National Rhode Island Day, Republic Day in Portugal, World Communion Sunday, World Meningitis Day, World Teachers Day, Mental Illness Awareness Week. And that is all.
That was Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. So find something to celebrate, not just today, but through the weekend.
Yeah. I think you're going to be celebrating Change a Light Bulb Day right outside of the kitchen.
Outside of the kitchen?
Yeah, in that little hall. It keeps flickering. It's going to be changed. You know.
There's a couple light bulbs, I think, that need.
Yeah, our bathroom
replaced.
has one.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that need done.
You know, it's really sad. It's like, I know everybody's busy and it's crazy, but this time of year, it's like, I'll get to that. Someday.
In April.
It's like, so last night we didn't get home till 8:30, 9 o'clock. Night before was the same. The night before was the same. It's like, yeah. We've had cereal for dinner so many times. You know, it's fine.
It's all right.
It's better than fast food, you know. I will say that. Like, we didn't go through.
Well, you had a different appointment prior to the soccer match last night. So when I was getting gas, I grabbed a little sub and did I leave it in the car? No, I threw it away last night. The bag. No, I cleaned up after myself. Okay. Good job.
I cleaned up after myself. It was an iced tea thing.
Oh, well,
that's all I had.
Your sunglasses were on the floor.
Oh, no.
I don't know how. You have like 800 pair of sunglasses.
I do.
And they all end up in my car.
Yeah. One is broken. They might be the broken ones that ended up on your floor.
Well, I just don't know how they get there. Well, I know how they get there, but I don't know why they're there. And I'm not going to say anything about what one of our kids may have said. They're like, how come your car's always so clean, Dad, compared to Mom's?
Do you know what's fun? I cleaned my car out the other day.
Did you?
And it was...
Oh, see what I shouldn't have said that.
No, it was your stuff and his stuff.
Well, I had to put my stuff in your car because you took my car. And I just have to...
So, just not all... That's not my stuff.
I'm just telling you what the kids...
Your car is so clean because you put your crap in mine and walk away.
No. I might put it other places. I was just saying what the kids were saying. I don't believe any of this, honey. 7:30. Thank goodness. Break for news. We got your latest headlines coming. Look at that stare. Holy smokes. That's brighter than the sun.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying, Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place, and I will probably do that. Well, ultimately, you know, because we're talking about a just kicking in. They're just starting to kick in. But ultimately, your tariffs are going to be over $1 trillion a year, in my opinion. The numbers we have now are bigger than they ever were. So when you have $36 trillion in debt a year ago or 2 years ago, and you have a lot less revenue coming in, then you have 37 or 38. It's not 38 yet, but it will be. And the numbers are so much bigger. All of a sudden, 38, you're under-levered. Whereas for 36, you were highly levered. We're not highly levered anymore. Now, with that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we also might make a distribution to the people, almost like a dividend to the people of America.
How much are you thinking for that, sir?
Well, we're thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. Be great.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Discover unforgettable savings of over $8,000 off your next Chevy truck at Community Chevrolet's September to Remember sales event.
It's like the saying goes, a golden retriever never forgets.
I'm not sure you have that right, Clark. You might want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. What's truly memorable is Community's savings this month of more than $8,000 off a 2025 Silverado and nearly $5,000 off top SUVs like the Tahoe. So don't forget about the September to Remember sales event this month only at Community Chevrolet.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
I needed a place I could feel cared for without the long drive. I chose Meadville OBGYN because both my sisters came here, highly recommended Dr. Kristen. Dr. Kristen makes me feel very comfortable. Like I'm family, like we're friends, very personable. My daughter Evie was born in Breach, and it was Dr. Kristen and Dr. Barco, and they were incredible. It was a wonderful experience. I wouldn't ever want to go anywhere else.
Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
I'm Ben Leach, Republican nominee for Magisterial District Judge, reminding you to get out and vote Tuesday, November 4th. As the only candidate with over 13 years of real courtroom experience and a dedicated career in the justice system, I've consistently demonstrated the ability to remain fair and impartial. As I continue my lifelong dedication to serving our community, I strive to be the kind of leader our citizens deserve. On November 4th, vote with confidence for a candidate who is qualified day one, bringing the experience needed to serve as your next Magisterial District Judge.
Wall Street's main indexes marked record closing highs on Thursday, with the Dow and S&P 500 ticking up marginally and the Nasdaq adding about 0.4%. With no official government data available due to the U.S. government shutdown, investors monitored information from other sources. A report from global outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas said employers' hiring plans so far this year were the lowest since 2009. This followed the previous day's weaker than expected ADP National Employment Report. The lackluster jobs data so far has led traders to bet widely that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 2 more times this year, including at the end of October. But Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, says don't bet on it.
I'm not so sure that we're going to get the next rate cut. And there might be this wild card with the government shutdown. Since there's no data and the Fed is data dependent, they might have to pause the easing cycle until they get more data. The market is not ready for that. They want this easing cycle to continue. We are still where rates are restrictive on capital formation at this point in time. They need to continue to go down to support the positive momentum that's baked into the S&P 500, now over 6,700 points.
Wall Street on Thursday was boosted largely by tech stocks, with Nvidia, Apple, and Broadcom all closing higher. On the flip side, consumer discretionary stocks were the biggest drag on the S&P 500, due largely to a sell-off in shares of Tesla, which ended down 5% for its biggest one-day percentage loss since late July. And shares of credit bureaus Equifax and TransUnion fell 8.5% and 10.6% respectively, after FICO launched a program that could allow mortgage lenders to gain access to credit scores without relying on the bureaus. FICO shares surged almost 18% after the news. OpenAI hits a $500 billion valuation. Brian Mulberry of Zacks Investment Management is here to put that in some perspective for us. Brian, the current and former employees of OpenAI, that's the company behind ChatGPT, of course, sold roughly $6.6 billion worth of shares to a consortium of investors, including SoftBank and T. Rowe Price, valuing the company at $500 billion. What is your reaction to that figure?
Well, Lisa, you know us at Zacks, it all comes down to the earnings and the revenue. And when I look at the growth rate of OpenAI, last year's revenue is somewhere between 12 and 14 billion, but projected out to be over 120 billion by 2030, that 10 times revenue growth does support the valuation. Also, you're starting to see them participate in a really big way in a lot of the CapEx spend that's going on, investing in themselves, but also taking investments from companies like NVIDIA.
Well, let's talk about all that CapEx spending that we're seeing from the Mag 7, from Oracle, from the chip makers. What concerns, if any, do you have about that?
Well, if we take all of the public statements that we know about so far and aggregate them and then look out the next 3 years, we're at $2.8 trillion in CapEx right now that we know about. What bothers us about that amount of money is that it's being traded amongst really those same 10 companies. We've known for years that Google pays Apple $20 billion in cash to make sure that their search app stays on the iPhone. But now we have NVIDIA investing $100 billion in OpenAI. OpenAI is in turn investing $300 billion into Oracle, and we have now this capital carousel that's going on. And it means that in this next 3-year period, if anybody pulls back from their commitment, the carousel stops. This market and the way that it's valued right now is totally dependent on that carousel still turning, not too fast, not too slow, just making sure that everything goes the way that it's been publicly announced, and we can continue this rally.
So speaking of this rally, it seems like it keeps on going no matter what you throw at it, including a government shutdown. So what, other than that carousel, pushes it even higher?
Well, the market is totally dependent on rate cuts at this moment in time. It was really interesting. We got the first rate cut that we wanted a couple of weeks ago, and then the dot plot came out, and the 10-year Treasury yield immediately went down below 4%. And then Chairman Powell had his Q&A, and the language was a little bit different than the dot plot. So the markets went to immediately pricing in the next 2 rate cuts because that's what the dot said. But now, as we've had a little bit of distance from that meeting and some other Fed speakers publicly, I'm not so sure that we're going to get the next rate cut. And there might be this wild card with the government shutdown. Since there's no data and the Fed is data dependent, they might have to pause the easing cycle until they get more data. The market is not ready for that. They want this easing cycle to continue. We are still where rates are restrictive on capital formation at this point in time. They need to continue to go down to support the positive momentum that's baked into the S&P 500, now over 6,700 points.
So what do you ultimately see as the potential effect of this government shutdown, should it be prolonged, on markets and on the economy?
Well, I did a little bit of homework, you saw this coming a mile away, right? And so I went back and looked at 21 different government shutdowns just since the 1970s. And the returns on the S&P 500 were split pretty evenly, half positive, half negative. When I look at the longer shutdowns, because this, at the moment at least, doesn't feel like we're anywhere near some type of an agreement. So the last shutdown was 2018, 2019, 35 days long. The S&P actually went up because in that moment, interest rates were going down. So markets didn't really care too much about the shutdown itself. It was the fact that rates were going lower that they kept equity prices going higher. That could be the same backdrop, but it also could be the reverse. If we don't get that rate cut and the government is still shut down, again, some of this very positive momentum that's built into this valuation could simply go away. And I get a lot of questions about, well, where would it go? If I look at the S&P 500 right now, it's trading at 23 times next year's earnings of about roughly $295 per share. But if I look at the equal weight S&P 500, it's only trading at 18 times that same earnings. That spread of 5 points is very high. Historically, over 80 years, it should be about 0.5. So the valuation spread between the equal weight and the market cap weighted S&P 500 is 10 times bigger than it should be. So any loss of momentum would mean we would probably just go back down to where the equal weight is valued at 18 times earnings, or more or less test the April lows that we saw earlier this year.
Hiring plans for U.S. employers are at their lowest level in 16 years, a report said on Thursday, adding to evidence of a labor market standstill. The report from global outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas showed that just under 205,000 workers were hired so far in 2025, the lowest year-to-date level since 2009, when the economy was just emerging from the Great Recession. And while planned layoffs in September fell by 37%, total job cuts this year have reached nearly 950,000, the highest year-to-date figure since 2020. Economists say lingering uncertainty from President Donald Trump's trade policy, immigration raids, and the rise of artificial intelligence have combined to reduce both demand for workers and labor supply. Challenger's report, while not usually at the forefront of economic data, carries a bit more weight this year given the U.S. government shutdown, which may prevent the release of Friday's key non-farm payrolls report from the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics. That closely watched report helps the Federal Reserve determine the future path of interest rates. The Fed resumed rate cuts last month, cutting its benchmark overnight interest rate by 0.25 percentage point. Traders now see a roughly 99% chance of another rate cut by the Fed at the central bank's October policy meeting, according to CME's FedWatch tool.
From mining machines in Brazil to blockchain in space, this is Crypto Weekly. Mining machines that solve complex mathematical problems to back crypto transactions have overloaded grids in multiple countries. But in Brazil, where crypto mining hardly exists today, they could help address a chronic clean energy oversupply problem. Crypto mining companies are actively negotiating contracts with Brazilian electricity providers. That would benefit from the South American country's surplus renewable power without burdening the grid during peak times. Any stablecoin that becomes widely used as a means of payment in Britain needs to be regulated like money in a standard bank. That was the stance of Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. It means it would need depositor protections and access to Bank of England reserve facilities. The comments made in an article in the Financial Times newspaper represent a slight shift in tone by Bailey. He's been a long-standing skeptic of cryptocurrencies. World Liberty Financial, a crypto venture backed by the family of Donald Trump, plans to launch a debit card. The firm's CEO, Zach Witkoff, said it could come as early as this year. In a first for the industry, US startup SpaceCoin said it successfully sent secured information through space. The firm aims to show it can offer an alternative to Starlink's satellite internet service. Founder Tae Oh said the test was designed to prove that data on a blockchain, the encrypted record behind cryptocurrencies and other digital services, could leave Earth, pass through a satellite in orbit, and return intact.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Friday morning. Sunshine, continued warm temperatures with a high in the upper 70s. Clear skies tonight with lows in the upper 40s. Into the weekend, how about this? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, look at that sunshine. 80 degrees returns. And even on Monday, 80 and sunshine before we start dropping on Tuesday into the mid-70s. And then once we hit Wednesday, we're going to be settling into the 60s for the rest of next week. But still not looking too bad. Maybe a little bit of rain, as we said, on Tuesday and maybe Saturday, the 11th of October. So that's what we're looking at. Not too bad. There's a live shot this morning. Beautiful start to this Friday morning. It is the third day of October. And a lot going on this weekend. How about this? Apple Fest weekend kicks off in Franklin.
It does.
We're going to run through some of those events. Another big event that hits our region is the Oil Creek 100 trail runs happening this weekend. 4 concurrent races going on. 100 miles, the 100K, the 50K, and the 25K. And you signed up for the 100-miler one?
I did.
Good for you.
No. So funny.
All right. Well, a lot of people come into the area for these great events. And, in fact, I was talking to one of the volunteers yesterday, and she's like, yeah, I got to be there like at 3:30 in the morning to get people parked. But what a great event.
It is a great event. And, oh, my gosh, these athletes are amazing. I'm not saying the negativity is about me. I couldn't run to save my life. So you asking me if I would run, if I was running, that's the negativity, that it is me. These athletes are amazing in the things that they can do, and their endurance and their commitment is so admirable. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I know people that they'll start training it like a year out just to get ready for an event like that.
Yeah.
4 a.m. to 4:45 a.m., the 100-mile race will get underway, or the sign-in. Pre-race announcements in the cafeteria at 4:45 a.m. And I believe this is down at the Titusville Middle School. 4:58, they move outside to start at the start line at the back of the school. And 5 a.m., we'll begin the 100-mile start. So, that's it's going to be quite a weekend, and that'll finish up on Sunday. Now, go to Franklin, Apple Fest weekend. It is officially here.
It's on fire.
Wow. Some of the events scheduled for today include the arts, crafts, and entertainment activities in Fountain and Bandstand Parks. You could just spend like the entire time just roaming that area. There's so many vendors. But the whole town is celebrating, so there's a lot to check out. The Apple Pancake Breakfast. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds delicious.
Farmers Market, Friends of the Library used book sale going on. Temporary tattoos by Holy Jeans. Face painting by Connie. Gigantic book fair and open house. DeBent's Antique Music World Tours. That would be cool to check out.
I think we've done that. We've done that.
I haven't. You may have.
I have.
You also have, this would be fun too, Victorian Residential Architecture Walking Tour going on. Tiffany Window Tours and Luncheon, Franklin Preservation Church Tour. That would also be a cool thing to do.
Awesome.
Now, I've heard the apple pie and dumpling tent is like incredible. Music at Bandstand Park. The Borough Civic Theater has Singing in the Rain. And that's all today. So there's a lot happening. Then you get into the weekend schedule, and Saturday, arts, crafts, and entertainment. Again, fountain and bandstand parks, apple pie and dumpling tent, Venango Regional Airport fly-in going on, the Apple Fest 5K Race for Any Pace event will be happening. City of Franklin Curb Market, balloon artists, Friends of the Library used book sale, gigantic book fair and open house, and a lot of the same things. DeBent's Antique Music World Tours going on, Tiffany Window Tours and Luncheon, Franklin Preservation Church Tour. So you can get in on all of this stuff. And, we talked about parking yesterday. And by the way, Sunday wraps up Apple Fest weekend with, again, a lot of entertainment. And it goes Sunday all the way till 5 o'clock as well.
Oh, wow.
So you've got the full weekend, and the weather, again, looks absolutely amazing. We talked about parking yesterday, and you may say, oh, my gosh, it's whatever the cost is to park here. But pay attention where you're parking, because there's a good chance that's benefiting that organization or whoever's managing that parking lot, or a church.
That donation is keeping your car safe and helping the organization at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, I mentioned we had a guest on earlier this week who said that funds a lot of their field trips for the year. Just parking for Apple Fest weekends. So.
Yeah.
And then a lot of businesses, they'll judge other weekends based on this weekend. Oh, it was not quite an Apple Fest weekend. You get into the holidays, right? You probably hear that a lot. Oh, it was an Apple Fest weekend, type of weekend where...
Yeah, I mean, it's a great event. And please know, if you've never been there before, it is very busy. And finding a place to park is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Be patient and drive slowly. It is well worth it, because all of the awesome opportunities they have in Franklin that day or those days are amazing. So,
and if you go to franklinapplefest.com, there is a map, and it'll show you places to park. It'll show you shuttle services. So it's not like you have to park miles away and walk. Some people enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
There are shuttle services being offered, so you should be able to get shuttled into town. But it is a pretty busy weekend.
Definitely.
And especially when you look at the weather forecast, it's going to be insane.
And take the time. I mean, you're there for the festival. I get it. But some of their downtown shops are like amazing. So
Yeah.
take the time to wander through those too. So
I think it reminds me a little bit of Groundhog Day.
yeah.
Not the movie, but actual
Like being
being at Punxsutawney, because people get shuttled up to Gobbler's Knob, and once it's over, you can either stand in the cold and wait to get shuttled back down, or a lot of people just say, "No, we'll walk into town."
Keep
and
warm.
it's a good hike.
Yeah.
So I think there's probably some of that with the parking situation. So, but yeah, no, it should be, again, a great weekend, not only for this event, but for the OC 100 happening this weekend as well. And if you're trying to find Autumn Leaf Festival stuff, which usually goes on at the same time.
Got a little bit of time.
You got a few more weeks. So that's spread out, and will be happening later in October. So
I did talk to somebody yesterday who was going tomorrow to Apple Fest, and told him, you've got to check out Printer's Cabinet of Curiosities in Franklin.
Okay.
Such a cool and unique store. So much fun.
Well, this is why I always say this with the Chamber. And we're coming into, Black Friday's next month? Cyber Monday, all that stuff. Small Business Saturday is next month. That's why I say, if you get the opportunity, whether it's Franklin, Meadville, Titusville, Oil City, Conneaut Lake, wherever it is, park your car and walk around your communities.
Take the time to wander. It's beautiful.
There are so many times you just drive through and you don't notice. You think you do until you get out and walk around and you go, I didn't realize that was there. So really, especially with this weather and like a weekend like this, just spend the weekend driving around, visit different communities and walk around and explore. So
I guarantee you're going to find exactly what you're looking for Christmas presents for people. That's my favorite thing to do. Like, I don't want to get you something that you already have or somebody else is going to get you. But these little shops with you, these unique gifts that are just perfect for your Christmas shopping.
Does that mean you're going to get me a Christmas present this year?
Yeah, sure. Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay, now, see, people know this. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You always surprise me with something fun. But that's the kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. Something you didn't ask for or you didn't expect.
Yeah.
You didn't know you needed.
There you go.
Mhm.
There you go. All right. Shop local and get out and explore Northwest Pennsylvania this weekend. Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville. Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733. For over 30 years, J. Gill Plumbing and Heating has taken pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. Our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. And with the J. Gill Service membership, you can take advantage of additional benefits like filter replacements and priority service scheduling. Plus, members get 10% off future projects. Call today to get a free estimate or ask about financing options. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online at jgillplumbingheating.com. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
211 is a simple telephone number to remember when you don't know where to go for help. Dial 211 when needing to find health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. It's free and confidential, and you'll have access to thousands of programs and services for emergency and non-emergency situations. Visit pa211nw.org to learn more, and remember, help is available by calling 211.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Wall Street's main indexes marked record closing highs on Thursday, with the Dow and S&P 500 ticking up marginally and the Nasdaq adding about 0.4%. With no official government data available due to the U.S. government shutdown, investors monitored information from other sources. A report from global outplacement firm Challenger Gray and Christmas said employers' hiring plans so far this year were the lowest since 2009. This followed the previous day's weaker than expected ADP National Employment Report. The lackluster jobs data so far has led traders to bet widely that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 2 more times this year, including at the end of October. But Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, says don't bet on it.
I'm not so sure that we're going to get the next rate cut. And there might be this wild card with the government shutdown. Since there's no data and the Fed is data dependent, they might have to pause the easing cycle until they get more data. The market is not ready for that. They want this easing cycle to continue. We are still where rates are restrictive on capital formation at this point in time. They need to continue to go down to support the positive momentum that's baked into the S&P 500, now over 6,700 points.
Wall Street on Thursday was boosted largely by tech stocks, with Nvidia, Apple, and Broadcom all closing higher. On the flip side, consumer discretionary stocks were the biggest drag on the S&P 500, due largely to a sell-off in shares of Tesla, which ended down 5% for its biggest one-day percentage loss since late July. And shares of credit bureaus Equifax and TransUnion fell 8.5% and 10.6% respectively, after FICO launched a program that could allow mortgage lenders to gain access to credit scores without relying on the bureaus. FICO shares surged almost 18% after the news.
Let's take a quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Plenty of sunshine today and continued warm temperatures. Upper 70s for a high. Clear skies tonight with lows in the upper 40s. Saturday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Sunday, sunshine, low 80s. Monday, mostly sunny, low 80s. And Tuesday, rain with temperatures around 70 degrees. That is a look at your weather forecast at 8:08. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Hard to believe the election is just right around the corner, and so many great folks running for different positions, and there's a group of concerned individuals from Conneaut Lake that mounting a write-in campaign, and they join us here this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Susie, we're going to start with you. Okay. Just introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Susie Schrock, and I am a lifelong Conneaut Lake resident, and my goal is to give back to the fabulous community of Conneaut Lake.
Very nice. Pat?
Hi, I'm Pat Cater from Conneaut Lake, and I am running for the Conneaut Lake Borough Council. And I'm originally from Connecticut, but Conneaut Lake has been my home for over 50 years.
Very nice. Darlene?
My name is Darlene Birchfield Ross, and I'm running a write-in campaign for Conneaut Lake Borough. I'm a lifelong resident of Conneaut Lake, and I enjoy our small town atmosphere.
Sandy.
Okay. I'm Sandy Eldridge, and I'm honored to be running as a write-in candidate for Conneaut Lake Borough Council. I was born and raised right here in Crawford County, and after retiring from my career as a human resources officer, manager with the Department of Army, my husband and I returned home 15 years ago to be closer to family.
Very nice. Well, welcome. Glad you were able to join us here this morning. First of all, congratulations on deciding to run for these positions. It's so important that we get people out to run and to be part of the process. Obviously, there's issues that come up that are of concern to you folks, and we're going to talk about, I think, 4 of those key issues. Susie, we're going to start with you. I noticed, just kind of looking at what some of the big issues are in Conneaut Lake Borough, a lot of talk about grant management and sort of the revitalization of the borough. Talk a little bit about what's going on and what you hope to bring to the table.
Sure. I'll just read what I have on my sheet here, which is the revitalization. One of the key issues is the revitalization project, which is in its final phases. I would like to be a part of the Borough Council to make sure that the revitalization will move forward smoothly and according to PennDOT regulations and carried to completion. There is currently grant funding available to the borough that is to be used for the final project phases, and there are conditions and deadlines that need to be made and to meet the requirements for the grant distribution. Time is of the essence because of these deadlines, and I just want to make sure that these deadlines are met by working as a team with transparency, communication, and cooperation of the council.
And I think we're going to talk a little bit about some of that transparency here in just a little bit. But Pat, for you, let's talk a little bit about water and sewage, because I know this is another big issue that you want to tackle.
Well, I am particularly troubled by the potential sale of our water supply to the Reflections of the Lake project in Salisbury Township. Do we truly have an excess supply? Would we have enough in an event of a major fire? Why are our water bills set to rise? That's another problem. Mine is expected to nearly double by the end of the year. I have planned to attend the Municipal Authorities meeting on October 13th at 6:30 p.m. at the Township Hall to learn more about what is going on specifically, and I do encourage all of our borough residents to do the same thing.
Darlene, it's funny, as we were talking when you came, you were mentioning the parking situation in our community, but parking has been a topic for the borough.
Yes, it has. And I want to serve on the Borough Council in order to have a voice in preserving and enhancing our community, as well as working towards some of the issues and we need to provide more effective off-street parking for those visiting in the downtown businesses. We have a lot of small businesses, and parking on both sides of Water Street between First and Second creates a very narrow corridor for vehicles traveling through, and we've lost, a few side mirrors, and when you meet a semi, you just kind of freeze.
So it's really a safety concern.
Yes, and there are plans in place to provide substantial off parking in Strawberry Alley, and we'd like to support that to go forward with that.
Sandy, for you, it was brought up transparency. I think this is something that's important to you.
It's very important. And I'd just like to touch on something. When I worked for the Department of Army, I supported a large and diverse workforce through roles in staffing, handling employee relations, applying policies, and resolving conflicts. And that experience taught me the importance of clear communication, fairness, thoughtful planning, and strong leadership. And those are qualities I believe are key to effective service in local government. And so over my 30 years in federal service, I took great pride in being a responsible steward of taxpayer dollars. And now I want to bring that same commitment to the residents of Conneaut Lake. If elected, I will work side by side with my 3 running mates to reinstate our proven and effective revitalization project manager, someone who at no cost to taxpayers brought $10 million in improvements to our town and Fireman's Beach. I'll also take action to pass a resolution requiring the municipal authority of Conneaut Lake, which manages our borough's water resources, to operate strictly within its charter. This means serving only borough residents and ensuring that we are not footing the bill for supplying water to an outside developer's project in Salisbury Township. Very important to taxpayers. I'll also push for a safe off-street parking plan for business in town, one that keeps our residents, pedestrians, and visitors protected while making sure traffic keeps moving smoothly through our town. And then these issues require leadership, respect, and transparency. I will openly represent the interests of the voters and our residents and promote accountable decision-making on Borough Council. I will not allow personal attacks at council meetings. That's happened in the past. We don't want that to go on in the future. I respect our citizens, and I appreciate volunteers who freely donate their talent for the good of our town and in our community. So my focus will remain on what truly matters, the issues that affect all of us as taxpayers, our resources, and the future well-being of our town.
Sandy, I'll stick with you for a moment. How did you get together with the others? How did this all come about?
Sure, it's very interesting. Well, we all know each other in the community. We're friends, we're neighbors, and we live in the community together. And more recently, I've regularly attended Borough Council meetings over the last 10 years. And more recently, we've all been attending Borough Council meetings. And in particular, this past summer, we realized that there are issues that we believe are important to us as residents in the borough that are not being properly addressed, we felt, by Borough Council. So we all independently, because we are independent women, experienced, and you'll hear from us if you'd like about our backgrounds, but we really do bring our experience to the table. And so we got together and said, let's mount a write-in campaign. Let's get on the ballot and see if we can't make that change for Conneaut Lake Borough that we think not just us, but other residents of the borough believe need to happen. Yeah, I would love to hear that story. Darlene, for you, did you think a year ago that this would be something you'd be doing?
No, not in the least.
Well, just talking with them, you said, yeah, you know what, I'll do this.
Yes, we'd like to have a voice in what's happening to our town, all of us. And we've been, like she said, we've been attending the council meetings, and we were not really too impressed with some of the things that were going on.
Well, Pat, for you, what was it? Sort of the same thing? You just thought, maybe a year ago, I'm attending, I'm learning, but now you're running, and were you surprised that you're in this position?
Well, I think we're all very involved with our community. We all have various jobs or volunteer jobs. And so I think looking at things that we need in this community, we are all dedicated to that. And I think that's got us all together. Yeah. And I think Sandy was kind of like the head pin of it, but helped us all to realize, this is something we can do. Yeah. And we would like to do it.
That's great. Susie, for you, was it an easy yes, I'll do this?
Yes, I needed to be persuaded in the feeling that I needed to know all the details. And I've learned that I am willing to learn all the details, that so much has happened over the years that I want to be on council and know what all the facts are, weigh everything out. And with my experience of being a business owner for so many years, I just want to do what's right for the community, the citizens of the borough, and the business owners, and be able to give back and make responsible, financially responsible as well, decisions, and be a part of that, and be a part of a group that makes that happen.
Sandy mentioned the diversity in backgrounds. Maybe we can learn a little bit about each background and what you bring to the table. That'd be great.
I have been a self-employed, successful business owner for 30 years, and my skills in financial reporting, financial decisions, employee management, and the procedures and attention to detail, customer service, production, scheduling, prioritizing jobs, is all key to running a successful business. And customer satisfaction is the top of that list for effective business management. And my goal is to apply my standards of my business knowledge and customer satisfaction to serve both the residents and the business owners in the borough. And my background, I sit on another committee and another board, and one of them is I am an assistant treasurer for the Ice House Park Board. And we all know what an asset the Ice House Park is to the community, and I feel privileged being on a board that can work together and make decisions as a group with all the facts in mind to keep the park beautiful and accessible to the residents and the visitors. And then I also work on a committee that represents the Dietrich Foundation, which is a Pennsylvania charitable trust that was established by the late William Dietrich of Conneaut Lake. And this foundation provides grant funding to Conneaut Lake nonprofits, and such as the fire department, the Historical Society, the CLCDC, the Good Samaritans, and the library. And these nonprofits, they submit grant applications, and what our committee does is we go through those applications, and these applications, they specify a project and their financial need for that project. And then we review the requests, and the actual foundation, which is out of Pittsburgh, distributes these funds to these organizations. And it's just such an honor to represent this foundation, and that funds are being granted to nonprofits in the borough. And that's just a community service, and that's why I just want to continue offering good things to the community and running for borough council for that.
That's great.
Reason. Yep.
Well, as I said, I've been living in Conneaut Lake for 25 years, and it is pretty much my home right now. And I've tried to get involved with many local organizations as a way to meet people and to give back to the community. I do hold a degree in elementary education, so I spent many years in the school systems, substituting and getting to know teachers and the children in the area.
And we have a lesson after the program. You're going to teach me some stuff.
Sure, what would you like to know?
Everything.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's quite a task. As my children grew, I did stay involved with the PTA, band boosters, a Girl Scout volunteer, and then I later worked for the Penn Lakes Girl Scout Council, where I retired. I served on the Shounts Memorial Library board for 40 years, and I retired from there about a couple years ago. I'm currently a member of the Conneaut Lake Garden Club, of which Sandy is the president, and the Conneaut Lake Historical Society. And I do volunteer twice a week at the Samaritan Holy Ground thrift shop. And Samaritans have been a recipient of some of the grants that the Dietrich Foundation provides, and we're very grateful for that. So I'm running for council not because I need to add anything to my schedule, but because I care deeply about the direction of our community, and I want to ensure that our voices are heard. My late husband, Tim, was the mayor for 16 years and very dedicated to what was going on in Conneaut Lake. He was also the Vice President of Human Resources of Meadville Medical Center. And as the Human Resources, he strongly believed in treating people with respect, listening to their concerns, and doing the right thing. And that's what I hope to do if I can get on the council as well.
Very nice. Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Darlene, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a member of the Meadville chapter of the General Federation of Women's Clubs, which is a social organization to assist Meadville and surrounding areas. I'm also a member of the Conneaut Lake Historical Society, and I'm active in my church serving as financial secretary. I'm a Meadville Soup Kitchen volunteer. I'm a communion steward at my church and also a member of the memorial committee, and I'm involved in our care team ministries. And I retired from Meadville Medical Center after 38 years of service in patient finances.
Very nice. Sandy.
Okay. You know, ever since returning, we've made our home in Conneaut Lake, and as I mentioned, we grew closer to family, and we've made some lasting friendships that have really made us feel at home. You know, living in a small town like Conneaut Lake has so many advantages. The natural beauty and the strong sense of community have always stood out to me. That's part of what motivates me to give back and help shape the future of our beautiful town, one that's welcoming to visitors and affordable for working class families, single parents, young people, and retirees on fixed incomes. For over 15 years, I've been a dedicated volunteer in local organizations committed to making our community a safer, better place for everyone. I'm proud to serve on the Conneaut Lake Community Development Committee, the CLCDC, that Susan mentioned, where we work entirely as volunteers ensuring that our local projects receive the support and resources needed to benefit our community. We secured revitalization grants and donations for the new downtown sidewalks and improvements to Fireman's Beach. These initiatives have been life-changing for many, allowing people of all ages and abilities to safely and fully enjoy the beauty and vibrancy of our town and the lake. I also organize the Winter Ice House Festival, a family-friendly event that I've helped build over the past 10 years. I collaborate with local businesses, nonprofits, schools, churches, and countless volunteers to make sure the festival is a driver of community spirit and economic development. And I've had the joy of working with others who share the same love and commitment to our community. I also serve as the current president, as Pat mentioned, of the Conneaut Lake Garden Club. Over the past 12 years, I've worked closely with Borough Council, church leadership, and the Western Pennsylvania Conservancy to help establish and maintain our roles as stewards of the community garden. Alongside students, residents, and fellow club members, I continue to volunteer my time to care for the garden and ensure it remains a public green space for our town. So that's what I'm looking to do. I want to bring back that commitment with plus my 30 years of federal service. I took great pride in being a responsible steward of the taxpayers' money, and I want to bring that same commitment back to Conneaut Lake. And I'm really glad that we have the opportunity to be here today. I have always believed that real change starts with people who are willing to step up and do something about that, make it happen, get involved. And that's why I'm running for Borough Council. And on November 4th, I humbly ask for your write-in vote for me and my 3 running mates, Susie Schrock, Pat Cater, and Darlene Ross. We are motivated, I believe, as a group, individually, independently, to do what's best for our town and its people. We're not looking for personal gain by any of this. So that's why we're here.
Well, we thank you for making the ride over. What's been the response from the people you've talked to, or are people coming up to you and sharing their thoughts with you?
I've heard a lot of good positive feedback, and nothing but encouragement and support, and I strive that continues, and they write us all in.
Well, it's such an asset. Just that whole area is so beautiful, and you talk about a busy summer and tourism, but it's year round. People are coming and visiting. What, for each of you, real quick, what's a piece of Conneaut Lake that just stands out to you that's a real treasure?
Fireman's Beach, and that whole area down there, which the grants that we've received have really improved the whole area. The sidewalks, you can walk down there. Yeah. The parking lot is paved now. The beach looks beautiful, and we've had a lot of people coming this year, a lot.
We have picnic facilities, a children's playground, a boat launch. So there's a lot to do for everybody.
And Ice House Park is beautiful with the new gazebo that's there. A lot of people come down and have like wedding pictures taken, or sometimes there's bands that play and the people can bring up their lawn chairs and listen to the music, and boats out on the lake with pontoons and they're listening to the music as well, and restaurants, everything's in walking distance, the winery, and yeah, lots to offer.
Okay, if somebody has questions, they want to sit down and learn more, how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach out by phone to us right now. We're working to develop a Facebook page, but the number they can call, it's a local Conneaut Lake number, and that's area code 814-382-6141. And I would just like to say that we hope that our issues will compel voters to please write in our 4 names so that we can be elected to Borough Council and help the citizens of Conneaut Lake.
Thanks for coming over. Thanks for your time. All the
Thank you.
best.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
take care. New Directions Community Credit Union is now open in Titusville. They may be new to our community, but they've been serving our region since 1974, providing their members with affordable products and services. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, volunteers, attends school, regularly conducts business, or who owns a business in Venango, Forest, Warren, or Crawford counties. Visit their new location at 206 South Martin Street in Titusville to learn more about becoming a member. Best of luck to all the students and athletes this fall from New Directions Community Credit Union.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville. Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Our new home.
Somebody pinch me.
Somebody say pinch?
Pinch,
Ooh,
pinch.
pinch time.
We mean we just bought this.
Yeah, we just bought a new house. Why are there crabs?
Oh, don't call for pinches. Call for protection.
Hit it.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your State Farm agent is ready to help you choose the right coverage for your new house and your car.
All right, which way to the sea? We're in Ohio.
So is that close, or?
No.
You got a pool?
No.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Ronnie Long.
And I'm Lisa Mellon.
The name Armstrong reflects more than just a company. It's a promise. While others focus on the short term, we're building for a future that's limitless.
From the dawn of cable television to the rise of the digital age, we've delivered cutting-edge technology like our advanced fiber network that redefines what's possible.
Guided by our core values, we have proudly served and strengthened communities like yours for generations.
Fat Chad's is Titusville's premier dining destination. Come hungry and enjoy these menu favorites: T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Dive into fresh pasta entrees like shrimp and scallop pasta, or our signature Asiago chicken. And don't miss our famous burgers and fish sandwiches, all served with fresh cut fries. Fridays mean prime rib specials. Enjoy wild game Saturdays. And on Sundays, it's our all-you-can-eat wing buffet. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
211 is an easy-to-remember telephone number for finding health and human services for everyday needs and in crisis situations. Every day, highly trained 211 call specialists provide referrals to basic human needs resources like food banks and shelters, physical and mental health, employment support, support for youth and child care programs, and support for adults and persons with disabilities. To learn more, dial 211 or visit pa211nw.org.
Wall Street's main indexes marked record closing highs on Thursday, with the Dow and S&P 500 ticking up marginally and the Nasdaq adding about 0.4%. With no official government data available due to the U.S. government shutdown, investors monitored information from other sources. A report from global outplacement firm Challenger Gray & Christmas said employers' hiring plans so far this year were the lowest since 2009. This followed the previous day's weaker-than-expected ADP National Employment Report. The lackluster jobs data so far has led traders to bet widely that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates 2 more times this year, including at the end of October. But Brian Mulberry, client portfolio manager at Zacks Investment Management, says don't bet on it.
I'm not so sure that we're going to get the next rate cut. And there might be this wild card with the government shutdown. Since there's no data and the Fed is data dependent, they might have to pause the easing cycle until they get more data. The market is not ready for that. They want this easing cycle to continue. We are still where rates are restrictive on capital formation at this point in time. They need to continue to go down to support the positive momentum that's baked into the S&P 500, now over 6,700 points.
Wall Street on Thursday was boosted largely by tech stocks, with Nvidia, Apple, and Broadcom all closing higher. On the flip side, consumer discretionary stocks were the biggest drag on the S&P 500, due largely to a sell-off in shares of Tesla, which ended down 5% for its biggest one-day percentage loss since late July. And shares of credit bureaus Equifax and TransUnion fell 8.5% and 10.6% respectively, after FICO launched a program that could allow mortgage lenders to gain access to credit scores without relying on the bureaus. FICO shares surged almost 18% after the news.
Well, just a real quick look at that forecast. Beautiful day today, upper 70s. Clear skies tonight, lows in the upper 40s. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sunshine and low 80s. Tuesday, rain and a high of 70. We'll get into the 60s after Tuesday. That is a look at your weather forecast at 8:38. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Joining us this morning, Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you.
You know, evenings are getting a little cool. My house is, I haven't turned the heat on yet. I'm not going to until I absolutely have to, but it was chilly. You start getting nights, 39, 40, 41. The old
You
house
start to
cools
question
down.
some stuff, don't you?
You know, and then the days aren't as long. You know, right now the nights are longer than the days, so. And that season we all love is on its way here, you know.
I'm not trying to. Where are you going with this? Like, are you excited? Are you ready to settle in and hunker down for winter? Or
You know, I've learned to like all the seasons, and I really have an affection for winter.
I do too.
Up until middle of January, then I get tired of it. But I like early winter.
I get to February, into February, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah, it's time to warm up. Yeah.
yeah. But hey, we can't complain. It's been super nice.
No.
You know, it's not nice. Penn State's lost, but I don't know if you want to start there. Where do you want to start?
Let's start there because that's the elephant in the room. When you speak of losses over the years, in sports in general, there have been devastating losses, but that one really hit me hard. And it was a close game. It was a very close game. I thought we could beat Oregon. I knew it would be tough. And, you know, in that overtime period, that second overtime period, Aller just throws the ball too low. If he throws it over the defender, they probably score the touchdown and get the extra point and win the game. So it was that close. What I was taken back by was all the vitriol that came out against Franklin. Ooh, my goodness.
I don't think it helped him, though, when he basically admitted in the press conference that, yeah, he can't win the big game. Not quite in those words, but he said, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. You either win them or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, and he won that big game against Ohio State back in 2016, and that was his last big victory. And he had Trace McSorley, who was an incredible player. You know, and then the next 2 years, in 17 and 18, they were leading in those games against Ohio State into the fourth quarter, and they just couldn't hold on. Ohio State would come back. So this year, he goes out and gets Jim Knowles from Ohio State for these games, and they still.
But are people expecting like instant results and success?
Of course.
Well, I mean, I know college football is there's more pressure to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you seeing things defensively that you go, okay, hey, well, they're on the right track? Or I mean, it doesn't help when you've got some easy games to start the season,
Right.
But did you see anything where you go, okay, I can see the system down the road playing
Well,
out?
I mean, they're not giving up many points. I mean, they really not. And if you look at that game, both teams scored a field goal in the first half, a field goal. So, and I said my keys for the game was that Penn State had to run the ball. Well, they just didn't run the ball enough. You know, Oregon ran the ball better and pretty much controlled the metrics. You know, total yardage, it was 4-something to 2-something, 428, 279. Passing was, I think they had them by 100 and some yards. Rushing was 128 to 79 or something like that, you know. So Oregon won the metrics, not by a lot, but enough. And the issue in those games is when you go into the overtime, you're getting tired. You're really getting tired, especially when you're playing at that level. Those guys are playing hard.
Yeah.
You know, they're putting it out there, and you just wear down. You know, you wear down. That's why they were scoring those touchdowns so quickly. So I just wanted to point out that I know football fans don't care what I'm going to say. They don't care. And I'm a Penn State fan. I'm a big Penn State fan. But Franklin is a good person. He follows well in the footsteps of Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno ran a good program, and so does Franklin. He does a lot of things off season, really good things for people. And you know, he's careful about who he brings in. He doesn't recruit bad actors. You know, maybe that's one of his faults. You know, because sometimes those bad actors are your best players. So I think over time he will overcome this. Because remember, when he came in, they were still under sanctions. He started when the program was in really bad shape. The first 2 years he was 7-6. So he's had to overcome a lot. And I know it's been a while, and I know it's 1-19 or whatever, but I still think the guy in time will start winning more of these games. That's my take. So don't throw him out with the bathwater.
Well, Yeah, I don't know. Winning will erase a lot of things. So
Yes,
we'll see
always.
how the rest of the season plays out,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah, he's got to play Ohio State and he's got to play Indiana. Those are two really good teams.
I would imagine if you could pull off a win against Ohio State, you kind of forget about this a little
Yes.
bit, right?
If they want to get in the playoffs, they really need to win at least one of those games. Both of them would be better. Indiana's at home, Ohio State's on the road. And they've beat Ohio State out there.
Bruce, any of this contributed to playing some easier games to start the season, and you're not getting?
Well, Ohio State did play Texas right out the gate.
Yeah, but I'm saying for Penn State, where they.
But I'm saying Ohio State played Texas out the gate, so maybe that's made them better. I don't know. Maybe, and I know why they do it. They do it because we said in this show those early games are like preseason games.
Yeah.
You kind of work out your wrinkles, and if you've got new players at positions, it gives them time to kind of work into the offense or defense or whatever. Should they play maybe another tougher game there? Probably.
Just because I think the hits are a little different, the speed's a little different, and I think if you're, that's your big game to start the season, and you're not used to some of those elements. It's not helpful. Now they know.
Most teams do it, though. I mean, if you look at the big teams, most teams start out with these weak teams to begin with, and now there are some people in college football that think if they should come out of the system that you have to play. You can't play any weak teams. You have to play teams from other Power 5 conferences. And I don't know if that's going to take place or not.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying like the first couple games of the season, they all have to be hard or easy, but maybe get something in there that's a little bit more competitive.
Well, that's being talked about. That's certainly being talked about. And if they come up with this new major college football organization that I'm pushing for them to do, you're probably going to have to play someone else in that Power 5 or in that 64-team group at the beginning of the season. You're not going to be able to go outside and play teams from the lower conferences like Villanova. And I think they're a Division I AA, so they're down at the next level. Florida International and Nevada are both 1A, but
5 years from now, 10 years from now, is it going to be a completely different look, or are we going to?
I think we're going to go to this new system. I think probably within 5 years. They're talking about it, and I know that Saban really would like that to happen. Where you'd go back to having more traditional conferences. West Coast teams would play West Coast teams, and it'd be more like it used to be. And you can think of it an NFL model. You have a Western and Southern and Northern and Eastern. You play teams in your own organization, and then everything flows into the college football playoffs, and that might even expand to 16 teams or 16 games. You never know, because there's a lot of money to be made in the playoffs.
And we're almost there anyways.
Yep. So,
Okay.
yeah, we're at 12 games, so. And remember, we had a hard time getting to 2 games. I mean, that was a struggle. But I understand with the affiliations with the bowl games was tough to overcome.
Yeah. All right. Anything else with Penn State or college?
We have college picks and pro picks at the very end. I did want to talk a little bit about the Pens. They play their final preseason game tonight, and then next Tuesday they start the season. They did something really neat. Marc-Andre Fleury has retired. They brought him back. He played a period in a preseason game so he could retire as a Penguin. Mm-hmm. I thought that was classy. Very classy. He didn't just come back. He played a period, and now he's going to retire as a Penguin. Very, very classy move. They get attaboys for that.
Okay. We should do that, Bruce. Bruce's attaboy award.
Like one a week?
Yeah.
All right, an attaboy a week. That's good. We'll do that. Yeah, the attaboy a week. Okay, so that's the attaboy.
We need some positivity in
there you go.
this world,
go.
right?
I like that. Good idea. You're full of good ideas, Luke.
That's about it.
Okay, let's talk about Steelers.
Real quick. How'd the Pirates do in the wild card series?
They didn't play in a wild card series.
Oh, that's right.
No,
I'm messing with you.
I know. You're being a SA.
That's not an attaboy. I don't get an attaboy for that.
You get an OS.
Yeah.
Well, the Steelers looked good against the Vikings, better than I thought they would, over in Ireland. First pro football game ever in Ireland.
I think they'll be back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they all talked about how wonderful they were treated. I mean, I'm sure it was a big deal. And there were a lot of Steeler fans over there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. So, Chris, that's what, the Roonies came from Ireland back in 18 whatever. In the 1840s or 50s, their family came from Ireland, so they're pretty Irish, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, it felt like it was a home game for the Steelers, but it really felt like a home game for the Steelers.
Yes, it did, and they came out strong. And they got 2 scores, and you kind of thought that that's the way the game was going to be, but the fourth quarter, you had to kind of question some of the moves in the fourth quarter, but they pulled it out. Now, I did understand there was that one play where they were down within 20 yards of the goal line or 10 yards of the goal line, and they went for fourth down because punting the ball would have brought the ball out a lot further than not making a fourth down near the goal line. I got that one, and they talked about that on the radio broadcast. I listened to the radio broadcast, so that's Max Starks and Rob King and Missy Matthews, and you get a lot more of the flavor of the Steelers when you listen to that broadcast as opposed to the national broadcast, which is more objective. So I kind of like, rah-rah on our side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, except really for that fourth quarter defensively, I mean, we were holding them, but
you just saw, the running game was better. Gainwell had a great game. He had 99 yards.
Boy, it was crazy watching the pregame. And, we don't know what we're going to see out of him. And he's not probably going to be very good and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then
best rushing performance. No, I think there's a lot of things going on here. I think the offensive line's getting better. He's better than we thought. And Johnson got some runs, too. I think he had 8 runs for 22 yards, so they got him some time. He's the talent that I think by midseason he'll be the starter. And they're just slowly easing him into the lineup.
Yeah. Bruce, I think the other thing is you also have people that know when you have a chance to have the spotlight on you, you take advantage of it.
I think Gainwell did that, Now, the line has to block. Those holes don't just happen. They have to block, and I think they're getting better. And the matchups are different in every game. Like some team may be really good, but the matchup with your O-line and their D-line favors you or maybe favors them. Mm-hmm. So when you look at games, sometimes you look at different matchups, like receivers versus defensive backs or running backs versus linebackers. I did want to point out a couple of players for the Steelers who are playing very well. One is Nick Herbig, who played for Highsmith, who played extremely well. And Peyton Wilson, wow, this kid playing inside linebacker, I think he had 13 tackles, all over the field. He ran that guy down the field. A linebacker ran that guy down. That's how fast he is. So those two players, to me, really good young players that are playing really well, which goes back to the Steelers drafting. They're very good at drafting. Peyton Wilson was the Butkus linebacker coming out of that year. But he was an inside linebacker, and teams don't really think much about inside linebackers. So he dropped, I think, to the 3rd or 4th round, and the Steelers scooped him up. And he's going to be a great player for them. So, and then also in that game, there was, I think, Ramsey was out some, Slay was out some, Porter didn't play. So they were down to like second and third string players back there, which I think affected what the Vikings were able to do late in the game. And Ramsey's going to be out for a couple weeks, but Porter's going to be back. So,
and they got a week to rest. So.
They do. But still, Ramsey's going to be out for probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Probably don't have time for this, but a lot of talk this week on injuries across the NFL. A lot of injuries.
There are.
early in the season.
There are. What's your thoughts? What's causing all these injuries?
Some of what I've heard is some of the places where the injuries have been caused have been on turf fields. But I don't know the others. I just caught one story based off of.
Well, I know the players want to get rid of turf fields, but it's up to the owners. I know the players are very much against them. They're not good for the knees because your sod will give, a turf won't, because they have that plastic interlay, and so it's an issue. And maybe the owners have to look at that, because you're paying these players millions of dollars, and when they get hurt, it affects you and your team.
Big time.
So,
all right. Before we get to pro picks, you wanted to do a couple college picks?
Yes, I did. I did want to. We'll do the big five. First one is number 9 Texas at Florida. Florida's not ranked. Texas is favored by 4.5 points. It's interesting that one of the top teams in the country is playing an unranked team, and they're only favored by 4.5 points, which shows you that Florida is a dangerous team. But I still think Texas will win. The next one is Clemson, which is unranked this year. Dabo Swinney's not having a good year, but they're playing North Carolina. And who's the coach at North Carolina? Yeah, that guy, Belichick. And these are the games, by the way, Clemson's favored by 14, but these are the games that Belichick loves to coach.
What's his record right now?
2-2.
Okay.
Clemson's 1-3. So this is one of those games, Clemson's favored by 14, but I'm saying, I don't know about this game. I would be worried if I was Clemson because they're playing at North Carolina. I think Belichick's going to have these boys ready to play.
I watched the season opener with him, a little bit of that game. They came out strong, and then they went crash.
Well, they're it's going to take them a couple years to get going. Okay, third is Miami, number 3 Miami at number 10 Florida State. First time they've played each other in quite a while because they're in different conferences. Miami's favored by 4.5 points, but watch this one. Washington, unranked Washington is playing at Maryland. Washington is favored by 6.5, but this could be real close. They're playing Maryland. Maryland has a wide open attack. Washington's a running game, so Washington's favored Washington. And then finally, Penn State's at UCLA, and they're favored by 24.5. And hopefully there won't be a letdown. I don't think there will be. I think the boys will have their back up. Pro picks.
All right. It's crazy.
Can we go over baseball a little bit?
Yeah.
We got 4 minutes, yeah. We're into the divisional playoffs. Cubs at Brewers, Dodgers at Phillies, Yankees at Blue Jays, Tigers at Mariners.
We'll have to do picks, see who are the World Series matchups.
Yes, we will.
I mean, at this point, it's maybe a little easier. Cubs were up last night when I...
Yeah, they won.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they won. Dodgers beat the Reds in 2 games. Tigers beat the Guardians, and Yankees beat the Red Sox.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think people would be. I think people would be surprised if you would have said about a month ago, "Hey, Pittsburgh's going to be leading the division at 3-1, and Cincinnati and Baltimore are kind of in trouble, and Cleveland is Cleveland."
Everybody would have said, no way, no way." It's just, that's the Steelers. They just.
Boy, how quickly have the Ravens and the Bengals.
Lamar Jackson's hurt. They don't know if he's going to be coming back. They're concerned about that hamstring. Could be a bad tear. You don't know. Without him, they're not the same team,
Okay. Vikings sticking in Europe there, playing the Browns.
At the Browns? Well, I'll pick the Vikings. They're going to be angry, and they're going to bench Joe Flacco. So
you're picking who?
Picking the Vikings, and the Browns are going to bench Joe Flacco. So
Yeah. Okay. Texans, Ravens.
I'm going to go with the Texans.
Dolphins, Panthers.
Dolphins.
Raiders, Colts.
Colts. I like the Colts. Colts are a pretty good team.
Giants, Saints.
I'm going to go with the Giants on this one. Is it in New Orleans?
Yeah.
I go with the Saints.
Gotta change all my markings. Cowboys, Jets.
Cowboys.
Broncos, Eagles.
Eagles. That'll be close. Broncos are pretty good.
Titans, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Buccaneers, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Ooh, okay. Lions, Bengals.
Lions.
Commanders, Chargers.
Chargers.
Patriots, Bills.
Bills.
Monday night, Kansas City, Jacksonville.
Kansas City.
And then next Thursday, Eagles, Giants.
Eagles.
Okay.
There's one of those I'd change my pick, but I can't remember which one it was. But
we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Are you still keeping track of all these?
As best I can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what it means.
All right.
I don't know when we'll tally it up. But
most of these are just hunches. No, I mean,
yeah.
I follow
This is just for fun.
Yeah, I follow the NFL, and I kind of know where teams are at. So
Yeah.
I make a quick judgment, but, I'd be interested to see how good my judgment is.
Listen, sometimes we get to Sundays, and I'm like, was that a Bruce pick? That may have been. Hey, good to see you. Have a good weekend.
You too, buddy.